Continuing to talk about the Olympic Games, the coach of one of Indiana's 9 and counting Olympians in the 2012 Games, the coach of Derek Druin, Jeff Huntoon. And Coach, first of all, congratulations on having a student athlete make the Olympic Games.
Thanks.
But you look at Derek Druin, this could be the first of 3, maybe 4 Olympic Games. He's so young and he's already competing at such a high level.
It seems like an event also to where, well, it seems like a lot of the events in athletics anymore, that people are getting older, more savvy, grown man strength. I don't know what it is, but he's definitely got a situation to where I know Canada initially he was on the what's called the Project 2016, so they were grooming him for that anyway. So this is maybe a little bit earlier than what they thought, but certainly, hopefully not the only one he experiences. But just a great time for him and for his family and everybody involved.
As a collegiate athlete, he ranks near the top of the list of what Indiana universities ever had as far as how they have performed as a student athlete at Indiana. What makes him such a special student athlete?
He's definitely wired maybe a little differently than the norm. He's a person who's been able to adjust to the endeavors and pressures of college athletics. But it's more of how he's handled his successes more than anything. There's a learning curve for a lot of people when they have a success early on, to where then they've got to be able to handle the expectations and handle. All we do in track and field is give these kids expectations and goals. But when you win a national championship, what are you going to do? You don't want to go and get second, and that shows you how crazy of a monster we've created. He gets second place, and he was very disappointed and should have been ecstatic coming off of what he came off of, and that's the only thing that kind of derailed him. But for the U.S. or for the NCAA championships this past outdoor season, he's got a different demeanor. There's no question about it, and it's been exciting for us as a coaching staff to kind of watch him come along. But then also some of the kids, if they've handled it the right way, it's been a good learning point and a learning curve. You don't want to keep throwing out the same kid's name every time when you talk about, well, look what so-and-so's doing. But there have definitely been coaching moments when you can say, hey, this isn't going to be easy. You got second place at some big championship or whatnot, and so, yeah, the expectations are going to be much higher. How do you deal with it? And so that's something that he's just had an innate knack from day one, and it's been, that's been as much of a learning for us, really, and kind of appreciating than anything, really. So,
looking going ahead with this Olympic process, you're going to help Coach Derek along as he goes through it. Kind of give us the roadmap of what's going to take place between now and the time he jumps.
Yeah, it's actually pretty exciting. He's got Canada has got him. As many of the Olympians, they've got a meet or two set up just so that you're still doing something. You don't want to take 6 weeks off before you go into the Olympics, and so there'll be a couple of opportunities for him to compete in some meets in Europe. I know that they've got him in a meet in London and things like that, and that's Athletics Canada. But then from there, he'll be over in Germany for their training camp about 2 weeks out from. He jumps on the 5th, and hopefully, if he makes it out of prelims, the finals are on the 7th. So about 3 days before that, 2 days before that, he'll travel out of Germany. So he'll be in that training camp for, like I said, about a week or two. And then he'll be traveling to London on the 2nd and be in the Olympic Village and do all that. And then he competes the first days on the 5th, like I said, prelims. And he'll be qualifying just like the NCAA regionals. You just kind of keep jumping until there's 12 guys left. And then they come back on the 7th, and those 12 will start up again, and then you just keep going until there's one left.
Especially in the individual sports, you've seen time and time again in the Olympic Games, those who have been able to handle the pressure and those with a billion people watching who have struggled with it. It seems like he's got the mental makeup that Derek's just going to be Derek no matter how many people are watching and what the pressure situation is.
I know that's been the conversation, and that's and that's where I think Coach Helmer's been as great as anybody in preparing these kids for scenarios just like this. Hey, every time we go to an NCAA meet, every time we go to a Big Ten meet, because there's different levels of kids, you don't do anything different than what it took you to get here. And as a matter of fact, if you keep your composure, you'd be surprised as to how well it could turn out. The neat thing about once you get to the Olympic level and you're the national champion, you've probably got that extra gear. So if just doing good enough isn't good enough, he's got that extra gear too, to where and like for me, who knows? I may not be within 5 rows of the whole thing, but you know, we could throw some sign language or something, making some adjustments. But it's an event where I think it's important to have somebody there who can make, you know, those fine little tweaks as you're going along. If anything, I look at it like golf. You know, just be a good caddy. You don't necessarily have to. You don't tell them which club. When they say, "What do you think, the 8-iron?" You go, "Heck yeah!" You know, hit the crap out of it. And so if I can even just be there to be that part of it, I'll be ecstatic just to be at that level to help them out, and definitely going to do everything I can to kind of stay out of the way more than anything and just go and enjoy the whole experience.
Last question is a two-parter. One, are you excited to travel over to Europe and hang out in London for a little while? And two, what kind of requests have your family members and friends put in for you to buy souvenirs for them?
The wife has said I need to go, so that's the first request. So that one's being worked on right now. Oddly enough, bring back a euro or two was one of the requests that I've got. So at the exchange rate, I don't know if I'm going to do that because I'm going to lose out from what I'm hearing. You know, as far as me going over there, it's my first trip to Europe. I'm excited. A little bit of butterflies, which is neat. You know, we travel so much here in the United States, and not to say that we're spoiled, but I've been to pretty much every airport that we travel to here, and so there's nothing new there. And while I don't long for any excitement over there, it'll be neat. It's just a different experience and something to where I don't think it's going to be the first time that myself and maybe even the staff as a whole have an opportunity to do something like this. So I'm looking forward to it with excitement, and just hope things play out well.